Before I start, I have to say that this will probably be the most personal post I post, and it might be long, so if either of those are not your cup of tea, then don't keep watching this. Like, really. Maybe you shouldn't keep watching this, anyways. I just kind of need to talk and feel like I'm actually listened to. Um, but, I mean, if you're not actually listening, that's really cool. I'm just creating a scene in my head. Um, Anyways, I pretty much just have to get this out before I forget it. Hold on, let me. Okay, so there's a passage in this. I feel like that just made a lot of noise, and I'm sorry. There's a passage in this book that just sparked something in me. I drove home listening to some of the songs we listened to those times we were infinite, and I pretended they were in the car with me. I even talked out loud. I told Patrick how I thought he was great. I asked Sam about Craig. I told Mary Elizabeth that I was sorry and how much I loved the E. Cummings book and wanted her to ask her questions about it. But then I stopped because it started making me too sad. I also thought that if anyone saw me talking out loud when I was alone in the car, their looks might convince me that the something that's wrong with me might be even worse than I thought. So, I don't know why this struck a chord with me so much. Well, probably I do actually. Just this. Okay. Um, when I was in elementary school, well, even, I don't know, just elementary school through beginning of junior high, um, I was always really, really lonely. Maybe it's because, like, I've always been the way that I always need to really have people around me. I love people, and when people are around me, I feel better. And, um, anyways, I felt lonely because my sister, well, my mom was never home because she worked, and my sister hated my guts, still does, because she thinks I ruined her childhood by being sick. It's fair because, I mean, she had to take care of me for a long time, and so she had to grow up faster than she should have had to. And that's my fault. Like, I was sick and she had to take care of me. And so, I don't know, so I was alone at home, and then when I was at school, like, I guess I didn't relate to the other kids as much. I mean, I would always be reading and stuff, and my mom was always a teacher, and so I would always get along with the teachers more than I would the kids, and then the kids would just call me a brown noser and um, other really mean names, and so I mean, there were times that I got so lonely. I was just like, I think I held on to imaginary friends a lot longer than other people because I just was so lonely that I was just like, I would just talk about my day. I would just talk about whatever, and just, I guess it felt good to have someone think that someone was actually like listening. And I don't know. I stopped doing that obviously. When I was in junior high because I was too sick to even think about being lonely or anything like that. Like, suddenly my world was just hospitals and needles and doctors and not being in school and having to be homeschooled and reading and trying to keep up with homework until my surgery. And after my surgery, it was almost like people looked at me differently. Um, I don't know why, but all throughout school and in junior high, when I would be in the hospitals and stuff like that, sometimes in the hospital for like a week. And then sophomore year, when I was out of school for like 6 weeks, um, there would always be rumors spread about me that I was dead. Like, I would always come back to school, and then people would be like, "Damn, you're alive." And I don't know, like, I don't know, after my surgery, my friends kind of treated me differently, and I was a different person anyways. And I mean, I feel like I made real friends. It became easier for me to see which people were my friends and which people weren't because all of a sudden everyone wanted to know, like, oh my god, like, where were you? Oh my god, you had brain surgery? Like, oh my god, all of this stuff. And none of them have actually just cared, but I think it just felt good for them to know the story. And suddenly it was just a story. And I don't know, after my sophomore year, I moved to Texas and it was just a total fresh start. And I feel like every time I went to a new place, I completely reinvented myself. And, anyways, sorry, I feel like I sound like really, really crazy, but, I swear I'm not really. I was just lonely. And, that passage just kind of reminded me. I was sitting in the car and my sister was driving like a fucking maniac. And I was trying to read my book, and after I read that passage, I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I don't know. A long time I just kind of perseverated on things, and I still do that. Um, but I could feel like I'm getting really, really, I don't know, whenever I get anxious, I just feel it in my bones, and then I just like kind of shut down. And like I can't stop thinking about it until I actually like talk it out. So this is me talking it out. Whether or not you stop listening or not, I hope you stop listening because I don't want you to think I'm completely crazy. Um, but yeah. So I guess I don't know. I'm the type of person that if I ever read something or see something and I like sort of relate it to my life and just like feel it, I guess. When I go into books, I just always feel whatever it is that's happening and kind of get really absorbed. And I always have been like that. Um, that passage just kind of struck a chord in me. So it's already highlighted and folded. um, but yeah, sorry for sounding kind of whiny, and I'm not really trying to be a whiny person. Um, but yeah, I miss being in the dorm. I miss people. And that's it.